Hey, Midtown folks. Hope you're doing well. And I want to just take a moment here to encourage all of you to be at church on Sunday. Even if that means online, that's fine. This Sunday is Midtown Church Commitment Sunday, and we're thinking about the 2020 vision and capital campaign. I know it's a lot, and right now there's a lot to be overwhelmed about. We just have made it through. I think we've made it through. We're close to making it through a crazy election cycle. It's Christmas, and that means lots of activity going on. And then, of course, the never-ending COVID pandemic. So it's a lot, and it's easy in those circumstances to take something like the 2020 vision and just church general activities and kind of put them on the back burner. And I understand that. But I want to encourage you not to do that. And the reason is because we believe, the session, Aaron and I, the church leaders, we believe this is what God has called us to, the future of Midtown Church. We believe that God has made clear that He wants us to move forward in investing more deeply in serving the city that we have been placed in, St. Louis City, to improve what we're doing. By way of bringing glory to Him, worshiping Him, and serving those around us, loving Him and loving others. And to do that, we see that is going to involve investment, not just financial investment, but that's a big part of it, but also investing more intentionally with skills, with gifts, spiritual gifts, and talents and thoughts and prayers into what we believe He's called us to. And that's a lot. I know, it is a lot. It makes me think of one of my favorite stories in the Bible, Gideon. In the Old Testament, if you remember, the people of God had a lot of enemies. And one of those tribes were the Midianites. And the Midianites were continuing to make a problem for Israel. And so God chose a man from what some would call the least of all tribes. And Gideon was just a normal man, not a great leader. And God chose Gideon to lead the Israelite army against Midian. And the army that Gideon gathered, while substantial, was small in comparison to the Midianite army. And so what does God do? He reduces the size. He reduces the size of Gideon's army. And Gideon, as well as others, kind of were asking this question: why? Why are you doing this? And the answer, what we know now, looking back, is that God wanted to make clear that He was the one who was going to bring victory. It wasn't the might of the army. It wasn't their size. It wasn't their brilliance. It wasn't Gideon's strategic ideas. It was going to be God doing the work, bringing victory for His glory. Well, in a similar way, what God has called us to, I look and see, and I see that it's big and it can be overwhelming. And we know that, especially given our size and our situation. But we believe this is what God has called us to, and to exhort all of us to commit to that work, believing that He will bring victory in His time and His way. He will see us through. 2 reasons for Commitment Sunday and asking for the pledge cards. One is because, like I said, we're asking Midtown to commit to invest into what we believe the session believes God has called us to. We want you to give towards that, to invest in it. The second reason is because we believe we need to be wise in how we think and plan ahead. And so having an idea of where we are financially and how much we need to think about raising going forward, this is a significant part of that. So we ask you to think and pray, talk with one another about how much you are willing to give. And I encourage you to be bold about that and see how God provides. With that said, I know that it can be the case, and is often the case, that over the course of 3 years, a lot changes. So things could happen that cause your financial situation to go up or down. You could have twins. That happens at Midtown. There could be financial collapse of our nation or the world. You could win the lottery. There are a lot of things, and we know that. So we're asking you to be prayerful, to be wise, to be bold, and to make a commitment, knowing, like Proverbs 16 says, that in his heart a man plans his course, but the Lord determines his steps. So we know things may change, and that's okay. If you're watching from online, you can still give. You're still part of us. We still love you and care for you. We look forward to the day we can be together, but we want to encourage you to also consider giving, and you can do that online. You can email Lauren at midtownchurchstl@gmail.com. She's going to send out an email with ways that you can give or make pledges even online. Finally, like I said, this is big, and where we are in over our heads. Even raising $1 million is just gargantuan to me and to many of us. But that's kind of floor level with the cost of buildings these days. But we believe that God provides. He provides, and sometimes he allows us to be in over our heads, so we have to trust him. And that's where we are. That's where we always are. But God has always been faithful to his people throughout history. God has been faithful to Abraham, to Isaac, to Joseph, to Gideon, to Ruth, to Esther. He's been faithful when he places his people in certain strategic places. He provides for them, and he's always done that. Of course, we see that most beautifully during Advent season. We're reminded most especially of how he has provided. By his grace, he gave his son in order that we could be with him forever. And our giving, all that we have, everything that we have, all that we do, is a response to what he has originally done for us. So consider that as we go ahead. Consider that over the next 24 hours. And hopefully we'll see you on Sunday, if not in person, online. So God bless, and we'll talk soon.